goodness, it's Friday, so we get to rest after today. If you're like me and you get to work over the weekend, I'm sorry as well. Okay, but we received the weekend in just very high notes. Okay, today I'm all by myself, so welcome to Newspaper Reviews. My name is Mavis Atudumi. This morning, you get a chance to actually talk about some of the things you've perceived in the news this week, all right? Because we are breaking news stories and updating former stories, okay, giving you updates on previously told stories in the news. All right, Nigeria is undergoing so much transformation. It's just that we have a problem trying to pin our hands on where that transformation is headed. We don't know if it's really a good transformation because we have been promised that it's a good transformation, the things that are happening, the policies that are happening. But on the same hand, we are seeing a total ignore of the constitutions and the rights that govern this country. We have seen abuse of human rights. We have seen abuse of agencies and parastatals and positions in this country. So we are wondering if these reforms are really in our advantage. Recently, the tax reform bill, which has been on the lips of everyone, different sectors, different classes of government, have a thing to say about this money distribution process that the federal government have put into motion. Now, the problem with this is that it kind of disadvantages so many people. And it's not in the way that you think. It's all about selfish interest, which has taken precedence for the actual importance of our country itself. So it seems personal interest, selfish interest, self-centeredness has taken stage of our entire existence in this country. A few men would rather be comfortable than have the entire nation benefit and be happy. We have had the presidency describe Nigerians as to have been living fake lives in the past until they came into the picture. What do you mean fake life? The day I saw that headline, it gave me a lot to worry about. What did they mean by fake life? Things like owning a generator is a luxury. I have heard this before. Some people believe that if you own a generator set in Nigeria, it means that you are said to be comfortable. You're a comfortable Nigerian if you can afford to buy a generator set. This was an entire argument, and from what I gathered in that argument, a large number of Nigerians agree that if you own a generator set, it means that you are living luxuriously. Now, this is a country that pays some of the highest electricity bills ever, at least presently. The governments of the past can claim to not have been as expensive as what we have now. So I'm thinking what fake life is. Fake life is that we were buying petroleum at 150 naira, 170 naira. Was that the fake life? Our petroleum? What do you mean fake life? That we were able to feed ourselves 3 square meals and not have to squeeze and borrow and borrow and borrow? Have you seen the amount of borrowing that is going on in Nigeria presently with the interest rates high like it's never been high before? Uh, Elites pretending like they do not see the hunger and the starvation and the hopelessness that it's engulfing Nigerians. And we have been told that these reforms are for our benefit. From what I have told you here every other day, I've been reporting this particular line of broadcast for the past 3 years of my life. And I can tell you that it's not really gotten better. The only thing that got better is that yesterday we were told that Bitcoin was now at $100,000 in worth. I guess that was the only good thing that I heard in the news yesterday. We had updates that rice had dropped last night. But hello, have you been in this country before? Can you guess how much deductions that were? Why can't we wake up to something that will actually physically impact our lives positively? Don't Nigerians deserve good things? This is a question for the elites who walk around and tell the international media, put on charades and dramas and facades, and tell the people out there that we are some of the most comfortable people ever when they want to. And when they need money, they tell them that we are the poorest of poor. So I don't understand which it is. But one day you say we're comfortable and we're rich and we're good. The other day you say we're not and we're poor. We're stricken poor. So which is it? And if what you're saying to these people is true, like the president went to Emmanuel Macron's France and told him a lot of things about all the things that we needed in this country. If that was the case, a presidential jet shouldn't have been the first, one of the first things to do in this administration. Oh yes, oh yes, the yacht wouldn't have been top priority. The renovation of the vice president's residence and some of the frivolities we have heard this administration engage themselves in. If this was our state, were your priorities set in the right place? Were your priorities set in the right place? We have heard how much governors are spending in entertainment in a year. We're hearing all the monies you people are spending, and we don't see any of that reflected on us. The taxing in this country has gone to the next level. How do you tax a people so poor? And we have nothing to show for the taxes you're taking. We have nothing to show for them. You say that your infrastructure is going to cause employment. Yet, we don't know when you send out these employments. We wake up one day and you have the people that you care about employed. The people in your state don't know when you employed these people. You claim there is employment. How many of you have been employed by this government? You better tell us what is going on. Because I know that there are youth corpus. We are graduating them in thousands every year. And nobody asks or cares to ask what happened to the previous graduates. How many of them got jobs? And we are struggling to pay for education that is so expensive, so inefficient, because there is more strike than studying going on. There is so much. Is it the sexual harassment in our education system? We have an entire rotten system going on. It's going round and round and round. So there is so much to sacrifice just being here. There is no easy out. There is nothing that is made easy for anyone here. If the government set a policy for you to even adhere to it, you have to sacrifice time, sweat, blood. It's like an entire mental cycle of suffering. There's nothing good for you. So you're mentally wired, mentally structured to not be okay with knowing or receiving good treatment. You know, Nigerians, we're so used to being so poorly treated. We don't even know what to demand for. Like, we don't even know the standard for good governance. We have no idea what it is that is worth us. We don't know what it is that we deserve. We don't know what it is that the people we have given power, we don't know what they are supposed to give back to us. We don't know how to hold them accountable. We don't know anything. It's like, yes, that's how it's supposed to be. Nigerians think that if you go to the bank, it is normal. It is normal for you to queue on a bank line for about an hour. Nigerians are used to standing on queues for hours on end. It's a thing here. We have been conditioned, we have been programmed to what we call sufferhead in this country. Sufferhead. Everything about this place is a struggle. The education you pay for is a struggle. The electricity that you pay for, you should thank the electricity outlet for giving you electricity. Oh, praise the governors for doing their jobs and creating roads in their state or fixing the roads in their state. Oh, let's applaud you because you're doing your job. We have no standard. We don't know what to demand. We don't know what to ask for. We don't know how to say, hey, we asked you to do this. Why didn't you do this? We have no consequences. We have no accountability. So anybody can treat us anyhow, and then they can go back to their homes, to their villages, or to their mansions, wherever it is, and still tell us how we are so stupid and lazy and don't know what to do as a people. I feel that the elites have told us enough what it is that they think of the Nigerian populace. And I hope that one day, if we continue to speak on this, if we continue to tell you about how you should treat yourself, if you treat yourself better, your government will treat you better. If you have a better standard, the people that we are giving power will know that we are people not to be played with, and they would learn to respect us. They would learn to not wake up and give us headlines that would drive us crazy. They would stop poking us. They would stop trying to trigger an entire nation of intelligent, wonderful people. They would stop animalizing the people here. They will stop criminalizing you. They will stop abusing you. I hope that we are able to pass enough information across to you, to give you enough hope and self-esteem, to know that we deserve so much better and that we can actually demand and ask for a better treatment, and it will be given to us. I will take you straight to the headlines this morning. Let's see what's going on in the news and see if we can put all of this together as well. 2 days after Dele Farotimi's arrest, King's College London says mulling ties is in motion to disgrace senior lawyer Afe Babalola. And I want to use this opportunity to tell you that all physical copies of Dele Farotimi's Nigeria in Change book is about completely sold off worldwide. There are no physical copies anymore. And you should also know that every single proceed made from these books are going straight to charity. And of course, this man has caused a stir internationally with his arrest, unwarranted arrest of Dele Farotimi, and the abuse of other journalists and other activists and other people who are trying to speak up. We just dealt with a bunch of children who were prosecuted for treason during a hunger protest in the country. And for whatever reason, the government will always win when it comes to going to court or having business to do with the courts, because power works for itself. All right? Power works for itself. It is government that is supposed to work for the people. So there are differences in these things. There are levels to these things, as some people would say. Let's see what's on Daily Post this morning. Silenced by fear, shame, and stigma, the inside story of gender-based violence victims in Nigeria. A much avoided topic, but something that is going on all around us every day. Thousands and hundreds of victims of GBV, that is gender-based violence, women and children, are on the receiving end of monstrous behaviors from people in society. And because of the corruption that has eaten deep in every aspect of our lives in this country, people like this barely get any justice because, I mean, you can figure the story out yourself. Barely any justice paid some of these children. The mother of one of the victims of one of the schools in Lagos, King's College, the woman lost her life, and it was said that she died out of trauma for her son, who was abused in school, and nothing was done to help her situation. The school continued like nothing happened. Investigation were shut down. So many things happened, and that woman died of heartbreak. The untold stories of gender-based violence in Nigeria is something that the government needs to put a lot of attention to. Now, someone like the wife of the Enugu State Governor, Mrs. Nkechi has been on a mission to do some awareness, create some awareness, give some help, and try to render some succor to victims of GBV in Enugu. And I know that the wife of the Lagos State government, the wife of the Abia State government, they are all doing what they can in their communities, in their constituents to assist victims of this problem and to create awareness in our local communities as to how to reduce abuse and molestation of children and women. All right, let's move forward this morning. Don't trivialize tax reform bills. Governor Hope Uzodinma tells Nigerians. All right, moving on. NSCDC naps 4 men for alleged rape of minors in Osun State. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. 4 men and a minor. This is bordering on mental illness. We need to do something. There has to be some sensitization. Something has to happen at some point to make these things become sacrilege to our people. It cannot have this level of audacity. All right, we cannot have stories like this on our news channels every day. The fact that most people get to ignore it and skip it because, in quote, it is offensive. What do you mean by it is offensive? Is it the truth? If people are doing it, why would it be offensive to hear it? We must come to a place of truth as a people. If people can do certain things, why do we draw the line in just hearing it? People can do terrible things, but we cannot speak about it. You draw the line when we talk about it, but you can do it. You can embezzle funds. You can harass and intimidate and disrespect and insult and demoralize people. But you draw the line when we speak about it. How dare we speak about it? We're asking everybody to get in line and act accordingly. Let's act accordingly before we slowly drown ourselves in pits of things we do not know. People acting with no consequence in mind. People acting with no reason. We are acting like a people with no plan, with no future, like we don't see any tomorrow after where we are standing right now. We're so fast, so quick, so self-involved. It's taking all of us out. Look at our streets are empty. Our markets are empty. Businesses are shutting down. Netflix is leaving Nigeria. We are all clapping here and dancing around. Things are shutting down. Investors are discarding us and saying that our country is not business friendly. How can it be? How could it be? With what you have going on around you, how could it be? How can anything survive here? It's in the news. Families are feeding their children salt water. Are you listening to the things that are happening here? Let's see if we can grab a few more things. Corruption has crippled Nigeria, coming from the ICPC. Now, if you say that, I wonder what I would do. Moving on, reps decry excessive checkpoints along Enugu-Onitsha Expressway. This Christmas season, are we going to use the roads in the southeast at all? Anyways, the phone lines are open. 0706 048 5853. You can also call 0915 570 8347. I ask you very dearly to please keep your comments simple, civil, and clean so that we don't break any rules while we're trying to do what is good. All right, the phone lines are officially open. Please drop your comments, contribution, and thoughts on any of these conversations that's going on this morning. You're welcome. Good morning. I greet you. You're welcome. ICPC. Mm-hmm. Oh yes, oh yes. Yes, that the EFCC refused to disclose the owner. Because according to them, they haven't been able to find the owner of 754 buildings. Emefiele was pointed, the first person that was pointed. Mhm. Mhm. Oh yeah. The greatest recovery in their history. But they don't know who has the recovery though. Yes, Amos, but they don't know who owns the houses, but they recovered it. Yes, but they don't know who owns them. Mm. I'm sorry, that is funny. That is funny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mm. Mm. Yeah. The ex former presidents. Oh, okay. They are, yes, they are giving national advice on how to run the country. Mhm. Oh yes. Oh yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Apparently they are not corrupt. I mean, if they are working freely and nobody's asking any questions and they are receiving national honors, that means they did very well. I am here. Yes, it's heartbreaking. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is true. That is true. That is true. Nobody is. Thank you, Amos. Nobody is happy. Sounds like a ranty Friday. It sounds like a ranty Friday. It's Christmas season. You should go to the markets. I don't know how Nigerians are going to manage themselves. You know, I was telling someone that there's not going to be any dirtying of any December this period because hello, have you heard of January? We've never seen this level of helplessness in our communities before. And for very hopeful people, Nigerians are trying to take it well. But I can tell you that there are consequences to behaviors, there are consequences to actions and choices and decisions. And I'm telling you, our consequences are just about beginning. We're beginning to see a transformation that is resounding. So when the time comes, when they finally get us all where they want, because there is a reason for this, and when we are all not able to do what we used to do, which is where all of this is getting up, If that is the case, where do we run to? What do we do? What exactly would Nigerians do? Because we keep saying that the next election will be better and that we are able to, because already people have started looking to 2027, are people who have never been able to control what it is that's really going on here. Have we ever been able to control who it is that actually takes this power and what it is that they do with it? The promises made are not being kept. And the people who are supposed to speak up about it cannot speak up, because if they do, it will be disallegiance to the people that they owe certain things to. We are in deep. We're so deep that a national intelligence and security agency, a financial intelligence agency in Nigeria, told us that they made the most important recovery in the history of their establishment. They recovered 750 plus buildings in Abuja, and they could not identify the owner of said properties. Have you ever heard anything so ridiculous before in your life? Good morning to you. You're welcome. Good morning. You're welcome. Mm, okay. Please. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 Mm. I'm so sorry. Yes. Yes. Malaika. Yes. 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 Mm. Mm. The executive. So there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. Oh. Mm. That's right. I have asked, though. Eh, you can do it, but I can't say it. Thank you so much for calling the shows. I appreciate. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. But it's worth worrying about. You can embezzle, Yahaya Bello, 110 billion embezzled. He's been called and he won't answer the calls of the security agents. But Davido is a problem for saying that the economic arrangement in this country is not worth anybody's business plans. And does he have to say it for it to be true? Do you know how many multinational companies have left this country since the emergence of this administration? There are actual numbers. Do you know how many SMEs that have shut down? How many young people that have had to pack up? Some had to leave the country because of very bad business environment. Very mean, stifled environment for anybody who is trying to come up. And this is for a country who we don't make toothpicks. We don't make nothing here. The things we have, we cannot grow. The things we have, we cannot develop. So how do we hope to make anything out of ourselves? How do we do that? Good morning. I greet you. Welcome. You're welcome, barrister. Mhm. Why? Why? Mm. Beats my. It is. I agree. Oh yeah. Yes, it can be very triggering. It can be very triggering, yes. That is true. That is true. That's right. That is right. Mm. And remember, we are making $20 billion from not paying subsidy. So you wonder what we are borrowing for. I know. I know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Mhm. That's right. Mm. We are good people. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. It is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's sounding like it's a little bit. They are listening. They're listening. We're trying our best. It's sad. Barrister, thank you for calling me this morning. It was very nice chatting with you. Have a nice day ahead of you. You can join this conversation live on YouTube at High Voltage News. Please like, subscribe, and share. And you can also call live into the studio. Call the studio numbers 0706 048 5853. You can also call 0915 570 8347. Good morning to you. I greet you. You're welcome. Mm-hmm. The estates, yes. Yeah. Tell me. Tell me. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. We understand that there are agencies that they can make these purchases through, but there is always investigations. Can't it be investigated? Investigations bring out these things. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, but what would have led to the capture? Because if you don't know anything about it, why would you need to capture it? Is it a crime to own? Is it a okay of that properties of those properties? Yes. Okay, but then you can. It's enough to capture the properties. Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 So this is a bait for the owner of these properties to show up. Mm. All right. For feature. Mm. Okay. Okay. It makes sense. Mm. Okay. That is true. Oh yes, we have seen. Oh yeah, I remember that time in 2012 or 14. Okezie Bazu had over 300 companies registered in very strange names. It was a discovery by the EFCC at the time. Yes. It was very strange names, but all the accounts were connected to him, about 300 of them. Hmm. So these people will not come forward. So, okay, okay, okay. Mm. Okay, 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 it makes sense because I'm thinking if before I would say that is the greatest recovery we've ever made, I would have thought that all of these processes would have been put in place before the announcements were made. But okay, okay, of the properties, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So this is indicting for the owner. All right. Because Justice, you know how these things happen here. These announcements are made and we never hear back anymore. You know how these things go. It's mostly a trust issue for us, and that's why when we hear certain stories in this country, we become really prickly because we don't know what's going to happen. They've made this announcement. You probably might never hear about this story again. You know that, right? Have you seen what happened to Dele Farotimi? Did you hear what happened to Fisayo Shoyombo? I think I have another one that happened last night. They picked him up. Niger State Governor Bago ordered the DSS to arrest journalists for reporting bandit attack on his convoy. It is that bad. It is that bad. Hmm. Oh, he has. He has. Yes. There isn't one hard copy remaining. They've sold everything all around the world. Yes. That's the you see the thing. That's what we call things like this in this country. A complete outright human rights abuse. We're calling it grace. It's not grace. I know. The exposure of criminal justice in Nigeria and Nigeria criminal justice displayed itself as well and proved the book right. All right. All right, all right, all right. Thank you very much, Justice. It's always a pleasure to talk to you on these issues. Thank you for your insight. All right, you can still call me to be a part of this program. The phone lines are on. We have barely 3 minutes. You have 1 minute. If you do call in, let's see what we can do with all of this. Good morning. Anybody home? Good morning to you. Okay, welcome back, barrister. Please go ahead. Okay, I see. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. To someone. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Don't we have some other things that we can use to check? Okay, how do they feel some 700? Is
Mm-hmm.
that what 700?
700 plus.
Somebody runs that estate, and how can somebody give you such money without knowing somebody that is giving you that money?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, they have all the information there with them now. Yeah, the only thing, the only counter to this is that whoever stole that money invested it in Nigeria. That's the only one. Can I say it's the one good side of it?
About it, yes.
In Nigeria, even if you sell it, you're not going to sell it to Nigerians. If it's a company, you employ Nigerians to work on it. The possibly the person who owns is one of the big shots whose name cannot be mentioned anyhow unless the person has fallen out with the government to a large extent. So the EFCC have done a great job,
Mm-hmm.
but they should complete that job by unveiling who are connected to that property.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
was never for a common man. That
Mm-hmm.
property is not for a common man in
No,
Nigeria.
it is not. It is not.
So they're trying to nail down. They're trying
But I am of the opinion that if this is someone's legit business, they can come forward and clear things out and go back to what they were doing.
not legitimate
It's
now.
not legitimate. It's not legitimate. I see.
I don't know if they cannot come out, but the FCC, if they go further, I know
Mm-hmm.
they will know.
Mm.
It's all about today that a reporter reported an attack by bandits to the government. Why are
Mm-hmm.
they hiding it?
I
Why are
mean,
you hiding it? For Nigerians not to know that such thing happened. A government convoy
attacked.
will have over 100
Yes.
persons.
Yes.
They have their relations, they have their wife. Possibly if they come back, they will be telling their family that they are lucky today. They escaped being attacked.
Yes.
Why are they
Yes.
bringing each other? For what?
We don't know.
We have come to live with it. That's Nigeria for us. So such events, they try to cover it. And you cover it to please who? Until we begin to face this problem and see it's looking at us. Why the bandits, why are they getting to such strength that they can attack a governor? Something is wrong somewhere, and
It
we're not
is.
telling ourselves something.
It is.
The security apparatus, let them call national conference. This is getting out of hand. That even the governor is no longer safe. The governor of the state is no longer safe. It's not something we can hide.
It's
Why
not
not?
something to hide.
National conference. Let all the region decide on what they want to do, whether they want to stay or not. Those banditry, why can they have that audacity to attack a sitting governor? Well,
Barrister Mecca, I have to let you go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me on this great conversation. Do have a lovely day ahead of you. All of you who has called in today, thank you so much. And everyone who's commented on YouTube and who's joined the program this morning, I really, really appreciate you all. I don't know how we keep doing the same things and expecting different results. We keep catering to a certain people and they have become entitled to this nation. It's become their private property. Uh, we can't tell you the people who are running your country down. We can't give you all the details. There's so much not to be said. If you don't want to look bad, please don't do bad. Oh yes, if you don't want to be thought of as bad, if you don't want to leave a nasty legacy, if you don't want a disrespectful memory, please, can we all come together and act right? There is rot in all of our systems. In the most unnecessary things in this country, you will find corruption sitting very bold facedly, looking at you in the most simplest things in this country. People hoarding palliatives, people hoarding food for the poor, people doing all kinds of inhumane things here. We cannot move forward with these behaviors. We are going nowhere with this attitude, with this body language of wickedness. We cannot do anything as a people with it. So I am imploring all of us this morning, please, my brothers and my sisters, can we try in our own little ways to not be a part of our own collective problems? Can we hold ourselves accountable in our own little ways? That way, we can generally expand it and see if we can leave a country that we can be proud of for our children, and leave them some morals and leave them some good memories. Let's not leave them with sorrow. Let them not remember us as the generation that led them into complete deprivation. Let's not be the generation that broke all hell loose. Can we try not to be that way? Can we try to be people that our children will remember with some respect and say these people were strong men and women, honest men and women, disciplined, responsible, respectful people, and that we have to model ourselves like them? Can we have that? Can we do that? Or is it the history that we have now that we intend to pass down to these kids who are coming up, to the future of this country? Ponder on that while you go about your day. I wish you a lovely one, and do have a great weekend. I'll see you again next week, Monday. All right, my name is Mavis. Have a good morning.